Hey everybody, welcome to Fiber at 4. I'm Christianna coming to you live from the Longmont Yarn Shop, and today our subject is going to be cool yarns for hot temps because we are getting closer to summertime here in Colorado and it can get a little warm. So what I have to show you tonight are a bunch of breathable yarns. So we're looking at a lot of linen and cotton, stuff that will wear well in the warmer temperatures. But before we do that, I've been kind of slacking off about showing you guys my finished projects because for those of you who watch Fiber at 4, you'll know that my New Year's resolution was to actually finish projects instead of just start and then set them aside. Hey Elizabeth, hey Mom, happy Mother's Day everybody. So I did finish a project to show you guys this week. I was trying so hard to finish 2, but I only got 1 done. But I think it's a pretty spectacular one. So this is the Lost in Time shawl. The pattern is on Ravelry and this is crocheted. Oh, good evening. Madison, sorry, my eyes kind of went in and out of focus there for a second. So this is the Lost in Time shawl. This is a free pattern on Ravelry and I got this yarn at Yarn Fest. So I'm calling this my I got into trouble at day 1 of Yarn Fest project. This is made from DK Weight Yakety Yak yarn by Greenwood Fiberworks, and it has a lot of color changes in it. This is a super fun crochet project, and I'm telling everybody that if I make it again, which I might, I'm only going to use 1 color of yarn because there were so many tails on this thing. Oh, thanks guys. Yeah, this was a super fun shawl, and honestly it's not as difficult as it looks. If you know how to double crochet, you can make this shawl. So that is the Lost in Time shawl, and it is a free pattern on Ravelry, and I made it out of DK Yakety Yak yarn from Greenwood Fiberworks. So I finished just 1 project this week, so hopefully next time you see me I'll have a couple more done. But I did actually finish a project instead of just starting and then left it behind. Alrighty, back to the task at hand. So we are talking about cool yarns for warm temperatures. So going off camera here for a second. So this yarn is brand new, not only to the shop, but just to the yarn market in entirety. This is, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time, Asagnu by Noro Yarns. It's spelled A-S-A-G-I-N-U. This is a DK weight yarn, and what makes this yarn really cool is its fiber content. It is linen and paper. Yep, paper. So this is obviously not a yarn you can wash. If you make anything out of this, it needs to be dry cleaned. But because of that linen content, it's going to breathe really nicely. And this is an amazing yarn for accessories. So this is color number 18. It's kind of different from the normal Noro in that it doesn't have all the color changes to it, but it does have amazing rich color to it. So this is color 18, which is a really vibrant red. This is color 14, which is this lovely, I think it's kind of a spring green. So for those of us who love our gardening, this is a great color. Hey Nancy! And that's Hannah replying to all you guys. So if you see Longmont Yarn Shop pop up on there, it's Hannah, so feel free to say hi. This is color D, and this one is a little bit more on the tonal side. It's kind of a creamy white mixed with a tan in there. So it is a really neat yarn. So these guys are $17.99 per ball. This is a DK weight, and there's 140 meters in here, so you're looking at about 150 yards, give or take. And we also have this fun pattern book. This guy is $3.99, but this is 8 different designs that you can use the Asagnu for. Honestly, I think this is an amazing accessory yarn. I think it would make a fantastic bag, a fantastic hat. So here is the Himari, which is made out of the green. And let's see here. Here is Yua, and Yua is this wonderful bag. So because of the fiber content in this yarn, if you do use it for a bag, it's not going to stretch. It's going to hold its shape. So, because linen and cotton, especially together, will not stretch. So the Asagnu book does have some garments in there. And again, if you do make a garment, it has to be dry cleaned. You cannot wash it by hand. So the book is $3.99 for 8 different patterns. And then the yarn itself is $17.99 for about 150 yards. And we've got the 3 colorways in stock. So next one is an oldie but a goodie. It is one of our favorites. In fact, I want to do a crochet along with this yarn. I love it so much. This is the Berroco Chai. And Chai is a DK weight yarn. Excuse me. There are 142 yards in this ball, and it is a linen silk blend. So this yarn is fantastic for summertime projects, breathes really, really well. I pulled only 3 colors tonight, but we've got about 8 hanging on the wall. So this guy is one of our newer colors. This is called Coconut, and it is a tannish creamy white color. So I don't want to say it's 100% white or 100% tan. It kind of splits the difference a little there. And then this color, of course they don't put the color names on the yarn bands, they just put the color numbers. So this is color 8608, but it's a nice steel gray mixed in with a creamy white. And then we've got color 8626, and this is either Delft or Blue Ribbon. I get the 2 of them confused. One's lighter and one's darker. So this is the darker of the 2. And it's a very denim-y blue, but it has fibers kind of twisted together. And let me get that up to the camera so you can kind of see that there. So there's like a shiny fiber mixed with the linen there. And they're twisted together, and it creates this really neat color effect. So you can see it in this lovely sweater that Gail made. This sweater is called Bonnie, and this is on Ravelry. It should be on the Berroco website too. It is a Berroco pattern, but you can see once it's worked up the kind of differentiation in the color there. So it's not a straight blue. It has a little bit of a tonal to it. So Gail made a size 42, so this is a European size, and she used 7 balls on a size 5 knitting needle, and it has this really lovely lace pattern up at the top. So again, that is Bonnie, and Bonnie is made out of 7 balls of Chai if you're making a size 42. So that would be these guys. So the Chai again is a DK weight yarn. It is $14.99 per ball, and it is 56% linen, 44% silk, and there's about 142 yards per ball in these balls. And I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Sorry. The air's been so dry lately. So next I've got Marmel. And Hannah, could you go grab the Marmel sample? I totally spaced that. Thank you. So Marmel is by Ella Ray, and Marmel is actually Old English for marble, which I think is kind of cool because this kind of reminds me of marble with, you know, the marbles you played with all the different colors in it. So this yarn is 58% cotton and 42% acrylic. So the cotton allows the yarn to breathe really, really well, and the acrylic helps the projects kind of maintain their structural integrity, is what I like to call it. It keeps the projects nice and movable, I guess would be a good way to put it. So this yarn is a DK weight, and it is $18.99, and there are about 273 yards in here. So this one is called Mystic Topaz, this color. And it's got, these guys have some really, really cool color changes in there. Thank you. Thanks. So, and then this color is called Matrix Opal. This one has more red in it, but again, it has some really super sweet color changes in there. So there's a lot of teal and green and yellow. It kind of goes from cold colors all the way to warm colors and then back again. And then this one is Ocean Jasper, and Ocean Jasper is definitely very cold colors. There's a lot of greens and blues and turquoises in here, but there's some splashes of red and yellow. And the sample project we have for the Marmel is the Serenity Shawl. This is a pattern on Ravelry. It took a size 7 knitting needle and 3 balls of yarn, and it took 3 different colors, so 1 ball of each color. So Marianne used Ocean Jasper, Sodalite, and Precious Opal. And this is a really neat kind of slip stitch pattern in there, a nice asymmetric triangle. But you can see all those amazing color changes in there, and how some of them kind of go from light to dark, and then some of them go from cold colors to warm colors. And it's a really super neat shawl. I like the fact that these yarns are fantastic for Colorado weather because it gets super, super warm during the day, and then at nighttime it can get pretty chilly. So this is great just to kind of wrap around your shoulders and fight off that chill a little bit. So again, that is the Serenity Shawl. The pattern is on Ravelry, and it took 3 balls of Marmel, so one of 3 different colors. And that is, again, a DK weight yarn, $18.99 per ball. There's 273 yards here, and it is a 58% cotton, 42% acrylic blend. Alrighty. The next guy is a new yarn, and I love this yarn. I think it's great. It's called Impressionist, and all of the different colors are named after different painters, all from the Impressionist era, which I thought you would appreciate that, Hannah. So, sorry. This is another DK weight yarn. It is 65% cotton, 25% viscose, and 10% linen. So viscose is a plant-based fiber, so this yarn will breathe very, very well. And I went ahead and pulled all the colors to show you guys tonight because it's a brand new yarn, and I'm betting some of you haven't seen it yet. So this particular color is called Water Lilies. Lot of green and a little bit of yellow in there, but mostly green with some splashes of yellow and brown. And there are 229 yards in here. I think I forgot to mention that. This is the dance class. So this has a lot of kind of golden browns to it. There's some turquoise and some green in there. Really, really pretty yarn. Okay, here's the Christianna color. This is called Lady at the Tea Table. And you've got your turquoises and blues and a tiny bit of purple in there. That is a great color. And then this one is called Versailles, and very much rainbow colors, leaning a little bit more towards the warm side, so a little heavy on the reds and yellows in that one. Thanks for the hearts, guys. I see them floating up my screen. This is Crowd at the Seashore. So I would say the main color on this is orange, but there are splashes of pinks and greens and some turquoises in there, so really, really neat color. This is In the Meadow, and green is definitely the predominant color here. There's a little bit of yellow, but I'd say that this is more cold colors. There's a lot of blue and purple in there. And Sunset Near Arbonne, definitely for you warm color fans. Lots of oranges, pinks, and reds in that guy with some splashes of yellow. And then this last color is called Bouquet of Sunflowers. Definitely very, very much leaning towards the warm side, but this is a bit paler. So there's some pinks and oranges and greens in there. So the reason I showed this one last is we have this lovely sample. This is, oh, they just call this Vest. So this is a pattern that would be on the Knitting Fever website if you were looking for it. So this uses the Bouquet of Sunflowers colorway, and this is such a cute sweater vest. It has this neat seed stitch in the side, and then a nice set of cable. Oh, I'm looking at the back. There's 2 cables going up the back, but up the front it has a nice braided cable. So a nice V-neck, lightweight sweater. This would be great for summertime wear. And I love the way that the colors are striping on there. It's a very subtle stripe. It's not incredibly bright like the Noro stripes would be, but there's definite color change in there. So that is a really, really neat sweater. So they're just calling this vest. If you were to go to the Knitting Fever website and look up Impressionist, you would find all the patterns there, and you'd find this guy. So the Impressionist, again, nice DK weight yarn, 229 yards per hank. It is a cotton viscose linen blend, and they are $22.99 per hank. All right. So here's another oldie but goodie shop favorite. This is the Lanello by Lang. This is another DK weight yarn. I'm kind of noticing a trend here. A lot of the summertime yarns this year are DK weight. This is $22.99 per ball. And this is a blend of linen, cotton, and viscose. So again, you're looking at all plant-based fibers in here. So something that's going to breathe really, really well in these hot temperatures that it sounds like we're going to start getting this week. There are 280 meters in here, so we're looking at a little around 300 yards. So there's a lot of yardage in these balls. So this is color, I have to figure out which number is the right one, 0017. And I love this color because it's different shades of green. So it's going from dark to light. There's some olive in there, and then there's this color green, which is has a lot of blue undertones to it. So that is a lovely color. This is color 52, and I'm not a huge pink fan, but I really, really like this color because it's not a candy pink. It's more of a salmon, but it's salmon going into yellow, going into green. So those color combinations are really, really neat. It's a kind of another bluey green. It's got a little bit of that olive green in there too. So that has some really neat color changes to it. Then this is color 53, and it's purple. So it starts as purple, goes into teal, and then if you look on the inside, you've got some reds and magentas. So there's a lot of, and there's a little bit of orange in there too. So this has some really, really sweet color changes to it. We have this lovely sample here that Deb made for us last year. This is the Lanello shawl, and it should be on Ravelry. This took 3 balls of the Lanello using a size 4 knitting needle. And this is actually pretty substantial shawl, pretty big. And it's got a really neat either feather or leaf pattern, however you want to call it. And I love the way that the color it's striping a little bit, but it's just a fantastic color change. And I love cold colors, so this is definitely my color right here. So again, that is the Lanello shawl. It took 3 balls knitted with a size 4 knitting needle. So it would be 3 of these guys. So again, the Lanello is a DK weight yarn. It's kind of a skinny DK. And it is a linen cotton viscose blend, and it is $22.99 for about 300 yards. And I only pulled 3 colors, but I believe we have about 7 or 8 on the wall. Next is the Summer Solstice, and I love this yarn. I am crocheting a sweater with it, which one of these days I am going to finish and I am going to show off because this yarn is really, really pretty. So the Summer Solstice is a sport weight yarn, so I'm breaking with the mold here. I'm going sport weight instead of DK. This is a linen cotton viscose polyester blend. There's only 4% polyester in there, so just a tiny bit of man-made fiber there to kind of give the yarn strength. This is, let me find the yardage here, 295 yards, and it is $19.99 per ball. So a lot of yardage in there, and I pulled 3 colors tonight. We've got a few more, we've got more on the wall, but we do have a few more coming in pretty soon too. So this is the Christianna color. This is Wisteria, and it is a lovely kind of a pinky purple. And the Summer Solstice is really cool in that it's got a little bit of a tweeding effect there, and I have a sample here that it'll show that tweed a little better. This is Strawberries and Cream, and again, I'm not a huge pink fan, but I pulled this because I love strawberries. So this is a very lovely, lovely pink. And oh, Amy's using Summer Solstice right now too. I need to finish my crocheted sweater with it. I've been a little bit of a slacker. So this is Will-O-Wisp, and this is a white color. So this will show that tweeding off a little bit better. This has got a little bit of navy blue and tan tweed in it. And I have another beautiful sample here that was sent to us by Knitting Fever. Thank you, Knitting Fever. This is the Summer Solstice Hazel Wrap. And unfortunately, they do not tell me how many balls of yarn this took, but I'm willing to bet it took about 10 or 12. And this is a very substantial shawl. It is very, very big. I would say it's probably a good 7 feet long by about 3.5 feet wide. And this really shows off that amazing tweeding effect. And this combines cables and lace work. So probably an intermediate level project. So you might want to get a little experience under your knitting belt before you try to tackle this guy. But yeah, this thing is huge. And this would be a great summer wrap for here in Colorado, because I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to shawls, I like shawls that I can almost wear like a blanket. So this definitely fits that bill. So again, that is the Hazel Wrap. This is made out of the Summer Solstice, and it probably takes about 10 to 12 balls of it. And I pulled these 3 colors of the Summer Solstice tonight. So again, this is a sport weight yarn. It is $19.99 for 295 yards, and it is a linen cotton viscose poly blend. So a lot of plant fibers in there, and this yarn will breathe really, really well. So the next yarn is one of my favorites. I've worked with this yarn a couple times, and it is a blast to work with. It does have some wool in it, but because of the fiber blend, this stuff will breathe really well. It is the Sesame by Berroco. This is a worsted weight yarn. There's 230 yards here, and it's $19.99 per ball. So it is a wool, acrylic, cotton, nylon blend. So this would be fantastic for your summertime wraps, just to keep your shoulders warm when it starts getting cold outside at night. So this color is called Cherry Bark, and this goes from a deep dark green to kind of a light magenta, pinkish purple color, and back again. And then this is color 7406, which I want to say is called Inkwell. And this is great for those of you who love your neutrals. This goes from a light tan, fading into a black and all the way back again. And the Sesame is really fun because it's got these fun little, and I call them nubbies. I know that's not the correct term for it, but it gives it a lot of texture, and it's really, really fun yarn to work with. And then of course there's Orchid. We have to pull the purple. So this goes from a nice brilliant blue to a magenta-y red. So it covers the bases from blue to purple to magenta and back again. And I brought a different kind of sample over. I'm always showing knit and crochet projects, so I'm going to show off a woven project. So this is the Orchid Blossom Scarf. This is on the Berroco website, and it is a plain weave scarf. So I used the orchid for the warp and then cherry blossom for the weft, and you can see that nice subtle striping effect in there, and you can see all those fun little nubbies and textured fiber in there. this was a really, really fun project. It's just simple plain weave. I did it on my Cricut, and funny story, I would just say to myself, okay, I'm going to sit and weave for just about 20 minutes and just kind of tackle this project slowly because I'm just learning to weave. Well, 2-3 hours would go by and I wouldn't realize how much time would pass because I was having so much fun weaving on this. But that did use just 2 balls of the Sesame because it does have a lot of yardage in here, so 230. And I kind of I followed the pattern, but I didn't follow the pattern at the same time. I just kept weaving until I ran out of yarn. So that is the Orchid Blossom Scarf. This pattern is on the Berroco website for everyone who wants to weave with Sesame. So again, Sesame is a worsted weight yarn, 230 yards, and it's $19.99 per ball. So along the same vein, we've got the Summer Sesame. So it's the same style yarn as the regular Sesame, but completely taking all the wool out of it. So this is cotton, acrylic, and nylon. This would be a fantastic fiber for people who have sensitivities to animal fibers. In fact, a lot of the stuff I'm showing you tonight would be great for people who can't wear wool. This is also another worsted weight yarn. This has fantastic color changes to it. And what's the yardage on this bad boy? 295 yards. So great yardage in there. And I just pulled 2 colors tonight. So this is color 5253, which I want to say is Jade. And 5252, which I think that one's called Kaleidoscope. But Marianne used actually the coral colorway in the Fractal Danger shawl. And this is another really long shawl. This would be a great summertime shawl because it is very long but not very deep. So this would be great to wrap around your shoulders. And Hannah, I believe she's doing a knit along with this pattern, correct? Do you know when?
We have a class on it coming up starting this week, I think.
It starts this week? Okay, Hannah's going to double check those dates for us. But you can see the wonderful striping effect that the Summer Sesame has in this project. And I'd say it's, again, another probably 7 or 8 feet long and probably about 10 inches deep. So this would make a fantastic summertime project. And this took 2 balls of the Summer Sesame using a size 6 knitting needle.
It is May 12th, 6 p.m.
May 12th. Okay, Fractal Danger starts May 12th at 6 p.m.
And that's the only date, 6 to 8 p.m.
6 to 8 p.m. Okay, for the Fractal Danger. So be sure to look that up on the website. Via Zoom.
It's hybrid.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This one is actually a hybrid class. So you can do it over Zoom or you can do it in person here at the shop. Alrighty, so again, that is the Summer Sesame, which is a worsted weight yarn. And it is $17.99 for 295 yards. Okay, going off camera. So I have not had the opportunity to work with this yarn yet, but I love this yarn. This yarn is beautiful. This is the Noro category, and I'm going back into my DK weight yarns again. So this is a cotton silk viscose polyamide blend. So again, a lot of plant fibers in here. So great for summertime projects because the yarn will breathe very well. This is $49.99 per ball, and there's 600 meters in here, so we're looking at about 620 yards. So that's a lot of yardage. And I found this out when we got this yarn. Kakigori is actually a Japanese shaved ice dessert. So that would kind of explain these fun colors. Unlike your traditional Noro yarn, this does not have a striping or color changing effect to it. It has its main color and then it has a rainbow colored tweed throughout the yarn. So this is color number 13. This, I would say that's like a teal to a green color. And then this is color number 9, and this is a definite teal blue. And this one you can see the tweeting effect. It's more towards the warm color side of the color spectrum. There's a lot of yellows and reds, so the main color is a cold color, but it's complemented by the flecks of the warmer colors. And this is color number 7. This is, the main color kind of goes from a very, very dark navy blue into a charcoal gray. So that would be your main color, and it has the, I would call it neon colored flecks in there. There's yellow and pink and a nice bright blue. And then of course, purple. This is color number 6, and Hannah's laughing at me. The main color in this guy is definitely a nice bluish lavender, and the tweeds in here they are mostly warm colors, but there are a few greens and blues in there. So this is a really nice yarn, and we will look at some patterns for this yarn here in a minute. But this is a DK weight yarn, again $49.99 for about 620 yards. And it is a cotton silk viscose polyamide blend. Alrighty, now I've got some new yarns from our friends at Berroco. So they just introduced all their new yarns for the summer season are all DK weight. So this is Pima Soft. Pima Soft is 100% cotton and of course DK weight. It's $9.99 and there are 124 yards here, but this has a really neat texture to it. And unlike a lot of cotton yarns that some of us have worked with, this is super, super soft. It's not stiff. It's like knitting with a cloud almost. So I pulled 5 colors to show you all tonight. So this is color 4614, which I want to say is called Powder. This is a nice grayish blue. And this is color 4632. This is Cantaloupe. And this is a nice orange. It's a very soft orange. And this is color 4620. I want to say this one's called Sky. And it's a nice tealy blue, definitely leaning more towards the blue side of teal than green. And then I've got a nice white. This is color 4602, and it's a nice creamy white. It's not a stark white. And then we've got color 4604, which is a nice bright red. So we don't have a sample currently of this yet, but we are working on one. And Berroco designed this yarn with mosaic knitting in mind. So this would be great for your mosaic projects, and I will show you some other mosaic knits here in just a moment. So the Pima Soft again is sport weight, $9.99 for 124 yards, and this is all 100% Pima cotton. Okay, the next new yarn from Berroco that we brought in is called Vivo. This is a super fun color changing yarn. It is 100% cotton, and there are 317 yards here. And I think I grabbed one without price sticker. It's $17.99 for 317 yards. It is 100% cotton. This is machine washable, of course, lay flat to dry. You do not want to put these guys in the dryer. So this color is called Rain, and we've got our turquoise blue with a little bit of lavender and just straight up blue in there. This one is called Meadow. Oh, and this is color 3533, and Meadow is color 3516, and Meadow is really, really awesome because it's a rainbow of colors, but it's pale colors, so it's not really, really bright, but it goes from orange to blue to green, a little bit of purple in there, so that's a really neat color. And this is color 3528. I can never remember the name of this guy. I want to say it's called Sprout. But this has multiple greens in it with a little splash of pink in there. And this yarn also too has a really cool texture. It kind of goes a little bit thick, thin, but not viciously. It stays in the DK range. And this is color 3517. I can never remember the name of this guy, but this is definitely for you warm color fans out there. There's a splash of blue in here, but it's mostly reds, oranges, and yellows. So this is a fantastic color changing yarn. And we don't have a sample just yet, but we will here shortly, because I know I said that for the Pima Soft too, but it's because the person making the sample is using Pima Soft and Vivo together, so I can't wait to see the shawl when she's done with it. So that is the Berroco Vivo, $17.99, 100% cotton DK weight, and 317 yards. So the last yarn I have to show you tonight is an old friend that we brought back because we missed her. This is Zooey by Juniper Moon Farm. Zooey is a DK weight. It's kind of a light DK. It kind of falls in between DK and sport. And this is 60% cotton, 40% linen. There are 284 yards here for $21.99. And this is a very nice, very breathable yarn. I have a sleeveless sweater made out of this, and it's a really nice sweater to wear in the summertime. So of course I pulled the purple color. This is color 66, grape. And I pulled 3 colors, but we have about 10 or 12 hanging on the wall right now. This is bay leaf, and that is a nice bluish green, definitely a little more green than blue in there. And then greyhound. Greyhound is gray, but it has kind of a green undertone to it, so it's a really, really pretty yarn. So again, $21.99 for Zooey. It's a DK weight, 60% cotton, 40% linen, 284 yards. Okay, so as promised, I have some patterns to show you guys for some of the yarns we have here. So this is the Berroco Pima Soft book, and we have the books, the pattern collections for sale for $12.95 per book. If you're interested in just an individual pattern, these are on the Berroco website. They are also available through Ravelry. And so we were saying that the Pima Soft is great for mosaic work. So let me show you this wonderful mosaic shawl. This is called Bassa Tail, I think. And that is with the cantaloupe and the white. And it's this lovely shawl, and you can see that awesome, awesome mosaic work in there. The cotton really shows that off quite well. And then there's a sweater in here that I want to make one of these days. Once I cross a few more things off my list. This sweater is called Trellis, and it is a lovely crocheted cardigan. There are some crochet cables in there and lace work, and it is absolutely stunning. So this is the Berroco Pima Soft book. It's $12.95. And then we've got the Berroco Vivo book. So this is, the sweater on the cover is this color here. So you can really see how those greens and pinks work together on that guy. This one also has knit and crochet patterns in it, which is fantastic for those of us who do both. So here is the barrel tee, and this actually uses 2 different colors. So you can see the top color there, and then the bottom color kind of comes up in a triangle there in the middle. And this is, if I can get the pages unstuck, ametrine, and this is crocheted in the Vivo, so it's kind of a swancho sweater poncho. So there's a better look at that guy there. And this one I think is adorable. I want to make it for myself. This is called Agate, and this is made out of the Meadow colorway of the Vivo. So this is a great, very summertime themed book, so that's $12.95 for this pattern collection. And I'm going back and revisiting some of the Noro yarns, well actually both of the Noro yarns we looked at tonight. So this is the Noro magazine issue 18. This is $9.99 and it is available on the website. And this particular issue featured the kakagori. So this is a very beginner-friendly pattern. It is the Easy Peasy Poncho. So that is a great example of what you can use that category for. And I didn't mark it, but I know there are some other fantastic patterns in here using the category. Here we go. This is the Shifting Sands wrap. And that uses a couple different colors of the category. And you can see right there the neat lace work and baubles and leaves in there. So that is Noro issue 18. This features the category yarn that we looked at earlier. And it is $9.99. My last item for you guys tonight is Noro issue 20. Noro, for those of you who are crocheters, Noro is designing a lot more crochet patterns. So this magazine features a lot more crochet than previous issues have. So this guy is also $9.99, and it features quite extensively the Asagnu yarn. So here's an article about how they discovered it, how they created that particular fiber blend. And then we've got some really cool garments made out of the Asagnu. And these are super, super cute. But this issue has a lot more crochet to it. They've got a section that has both a knit and crochet version of the same project. So, oh, this one's really cool too. I actually picked a copy up of this for myself because it has so much crochet in it. It's a good balance of both knit and crochet. And of course, there's they always feature articles talking about Noro and their color dyeing method. So this is also a really, really good read if you just want to learn more about Noro. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. Those are my picks for cool yarns for the hot temperatures we're going to be seeing here soon. Next week, Melanie will be here with you guys, and she will be talking about spinning. So I'm really excited about that, and hope you all be able to join her. And otherwise, have a lovely remainder of your Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there, and we will see you next week.